Hi, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're well. Today's video is all about summer sweet treats. I'll be baking a delightful bread and making a refreshing beverage. Both recipes are sure to capture the essence of summer. If this is something that interests you, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, then let's get to work. So today I'll be making a lemon blueberry loaf, and I'm going to be following a recipe that I found on Pinterest. I will include the link in the description box, but just to let you know what I'm starting with here today, I have milk, granulated sugar, melted butter. These are frozen blueberries, but you can use fresh as well. I have vanilla extract, 2 large eggs. This is just regular salt, and this is baking powder. And in this container, I have some flour. So I am going to be following this recipe here that I found on Pinterest. No shame in that. So just stick with me as I go through what I'm making right now. So this right here, this is 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So to this, I will be adding the baking powder, and the salt. I'll be whisking the flour, baking powder, and salt, and then just setting that to the side. Then the next thing that I need to do is blend the melted butter with the sugar, the egg, the vanilla extract, and then I need some lemon zest and lemon juice. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of those things right now. So I need, 2 teaspoons of freshly grated lemon zest. So here's my lemon. It has been cleaned. And here is my grater. So I'm just going to grate. It said 2 teaspoons. Smells great, but I don't see anything being glued yet. Not quite a different grater, but this might get the job done here. I need to sharpen my grater. So this is about how much I have grated. I don't know if it's 2 tablespoons or 2 teaspoons, but I don't really care. So I'm going to take all of those things and put them into a different bowl. Okay, so I also need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I'm going to take this same lemon here. I'm just going to cut it. Cut it a little bit more so that it fits into this juicer here. And I need 2 tablespoons of this. Cut it one more time. Here's a pretty large lemon here. So now I'm going to place it in this juicer, which is something that I bought at Dollar Tree. And I need a total of 2 tablespoons. Yes, 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. I've got about tablespoon and a half. Let's see if this one's enough. Perfect. I have exactly 2 tablespoons freshly squeezed lemon juice. So now I'm going to combine the sugar, the melted butter, 2 large eggs, the lemon zest, the lemon juice, and the vanilla extract. So now I'm just going to use the whisk to mix these items. Making sure I get all of the sugar off the edges because there's quite a bit of sugar stuff stuck along the edges of the bowl. And this is what it looks like with everything all mixed. Okay, so now I'm going to be alternating adding the milk and the flour. I'm going to do about half of the milk and about half of the flour. It doesn't have to be perfect, so I'm going to start with milk. Okay, so approximately half of that, and then about half of the flour. So the recipe that I'm using does call for using an electric mixer, but I don't feel like doing that, so I'm just going to use this whisk here again. And if we remember, we haven't always had access to electricity, so there are people since the beginning of time who have made baked goods without using an electric mixer to mix these ingredients, so I'm going to pretend I like them. So now I'm going to add the rest of my milk and the rest of my flour slowly. And I'm going to combine all of these ingredients. So the batter is certainly getting a lot thicker than it was before. Now that we've added the lots of flour, it's getting a little bit harder to stir, which is exactly what we want. But we don't want to over-mix it because then it might produce some tough bread. And this is a lemon blueberry bread. It is a thick bread. It's a dessert-like bread, and we do want it to be moist. And we do not want it, and we want it to be soft. We don't want it to be tough. So now that these have been nicely blended, this is what the batter looks like. The next step is to, let's see. So the next step is to toss the blueberries in just a little bit of flour. So I'm going to do that right now. I need, let's see, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, about a tablespoon. And then I have the blueberries, which I'm going to add to this. So the purpose of adding the blueberries or tossing them in flour is so that the blueberries don't sink to the bottom of the baking pan. You do want a blueberry loaf where blueberries are a little bit more evenly distributed. So this is going to help with making sure they don't float or they don't sink to the bottom of the baking pan. And I'm just going to lightly coat the blueberries in the flour. And this is what it looks like here. So now I'm just going to add the coated blueberries to the rest of the batter. I have just a little bit of leftover flour. I'm not going to put that in here just in case it ends up being too much flour for this recipe. And now I'm going to lightly fold the blueberries into the batter. So next I'm going to lightly coat this baking pan I'm using coconut oil for that. The recipe does say you can use butter, but I'm choosing to use this coconut oil because it's in a spray container. And now I'm going to pour my batter into the baking pan. This smells so good, and it's not even in the oven yet. I think it's the lemons that I'm smelling. Okay, so now I'm going to put this into an oven that's been preheated to 350 degrees. The recipe calls for setting the timer for 55 to 65 minutes, but I like to go a little bit lower than that because I can always add time later. So I'm going to set my timer for 50 minutes. And you may have noticed a pot of water on the back burner here. I'm also going to be making a blueberry iced tea. So right now I'm just preparing this water so that I can use this for the tea, and then I'll come over here and make the blueberry puree in just. Okay, so now it's time to make tea. I don't just need plain tea. I love all kinds of flavored tea, so that's what I have on hand. But I'm going to go through these containers and see which tea might be the most appropriate. This is a blueberry sweet tea that I'm looking to make, so I don't want a flavor that's going to contrast too much with that. I could use, let's see, I have Perfect Peach herbal tea. That's an option. I also have a couple of different kinds of mint. I have Refreshment and Perfectly Mint. Let's see, I have some tangerine tea. This is a peach detox tea because it doesn't really have any peach flavor into it. And there's some other mint ones down there. Let's see, over here I have lemon lime, strawberry, vanilla chai. This is watermelon cucumber. This is a watermelon cucumber mint. And this is a stress therapy blend with cinnamon, chamomile, and lavender. So I think the most appropriate one to use, I think I'm going to go for the peach. I'm going to go for the peach. So, but I will probably mix it with some mint. And I might even add some fresh mint leaves from my garden to this, but yeah, I'm going to go with some. I'm going to use peach and mint. Well, I also have lemon, but I think I'll use peach and mint. So here I'm just going to take the tea bags out of the packets here. I'm just using 3. Honestly, I could probably get away with just 2 because I will be adding a blueberry puree to this. And I really don't need these flavors to come out as much as I want the blueberry flavor to come out. But I'm going to use 3 apple trees. So now I'm going to add my hot water to the mixture. I don't need a ton of water because what I want to do is just allow the tea bags to steep in this water. And so we have going on here. I'm just going to allow this to steep for a bit. I don't usually have a predetermined amount of time that I let it sit. I can let it sit sometimes for 15 minutes. Sometimes I'll let it sit for hours. It just depends on what else I have going on in the moment. So right now I'm just going to let this sit here, and I'm going to move on to the next step, which is to, I was going to puree the blueberries in a food processor, but I think I'm just going to make a blueberry syrupy concoction on the stove. So let's go do that. So in this pot here I have about a cup of water, and to that I'm going to add a cup of sugar. I'm not sure if you're able to see it, but the sugar and water is starting to boil. This is the sugar that I have here, and I'm going to add to it about a cup of frozen blueberries. Again, you can use fresh strawberries. These were fresh when I purchased them. I just cleaned them and I froze them. Now I'm just going to give this a quick stir. I'm going to let this boil. Set the timer for about 2 minutes, and then I'll come back. Okay, so my timer has gone off. I'm just going to check what is going on with the blueberries here. They're still not quite broken down yet, so I'm going to add a few more minutes to it. So here is what the tea looks like right now. The blueberry syrup is ready, so I'm going to add that to the tea. So here's what that looks like. And I might actually have more than enough for this, so what I could do is pour some of this into a separate container and freeze it for use on another day. So let's try to do this without spilling too much of it. Okay, so here's what it looks like now. So at this point you can add ice cubes to it, but I'm going to add some cold water, and I'm just going to use tap water. So I'm going to give this a quick stir, just so that I can combine the blueberry syrup with the tea. The next step is to give it a taste test. Now I did not add sugar to this. I haven't added sugar yet. I need to see how much sugar it might need. But because I do have this blueberry syrup in here, I'm not sure that it will actually need sugar, but let's just see. A tiny taste. Okay, let's use just a little bit of sugar. So one benefit of not adding ice to this just yet is so that if I did need to add more sugar, it would dissolve pretty easily. Normally I would not add the water until after I have the syrupy taste that I desire. I have to bring up the sweetness level of what I'm making quite a bit, because I know I'm going to be adding water later. That water is going to dilute the sugary taste, but I didn't do that this time. So I'm going to be adding sugar to this. Again, it's good that I did not add ice, and this is cold tap water, so it's not that cold, which means that the sugar should dissolve pretty easily. So just a little bit of sugar here. I'm going to give it another quick mix. Okay, it feels like the sugar is fully dissolved, so now I'm going to do another quick taste test. We're getting there just a little bit more sugar. Okay, so I didn't measure before, but this is about, this is a quarter cup of sugar, and that's about what I used before. So I'm up to about another half cup of sugar. That's in addition to the 1 cup that you saw me use earlier when I was making these. So let's give it another quick mix. Now, I do not like my sweet tea or my lemonade super sweet, so let's see how this turned out. I didn't exactly use a recipe for this because I like to make what I want, and I like to add the ingredients to taste, and that includes the sugar. So if you do decide to make something like this, just kind of follow your heart when you decide how much sugar should go into your tea or your lemonade. Okay, that is enough sugar. I am fully satisfied with how this tastes. So now I'm just going to put some ice into my glass here, and then give that a quick stir and taste it colder than I have been drinking it. So now I've added some ice to my glass, and I'm going to pour this blueberry sweet tea How beautiful is it? So before I give it another taste test, I'm going to add some fresh mint that I picked from my garden. And I'll go ahead and add some mint leaves to the pitcher as well. So now I'm going to give it a quick stir so that I can cool down the tea. And now it's time to give it a taste. Wow. As our 24-year-old daughter likes to say, this is slap your mama good. So this is absolutely refreshing. It's easy. I made this in under 30 minutes or so. You can let the tea bag steep longer if that's what you desire, but it's not really necessary. So again, I just want to remind you that the flavors of tea bags that I used are peach and mint. I made a blueberry simple syrup. And then I also added some peppermint to that. So those are the flavors that are mingling. Is it overly blueberry? Let's taste it again and see. I'm getting blueberry vibes, but I'm also really getting some mint vibes from this. So I could add more of the blueberry syrup to this, which is actually what I think I'm going to do. And then I'll give it a quick mix. Now because I have so much left in this glass, I'm just going to taste test the way that I normally would do, which is just with a small dipping bowl. So let's see how it tastes with the additional blueberry full syrup. This is giving extra blueberry, so when I make this again, I'll probably just use all the blueberry syrup that I made and just get that full vibe that I was going for. So I'm going to be pairing this later with the lemon blueberry bread. Once that's done, I have a little bit longer in the oven, and then once that is ready, I'm going to let it cool for a bit, and I will come back and show you what it looks like, and I'll also be sampling that along with this blueberry sweet tea. So this is what the blueberry lemon cake looks like, or lemon bread. It is a little darker than I wanted it to be on top. I noticed with about 10 minutes left in baking time that it was more brown on top than I wanted it to be, so I did add some oil to keep it from browning further. But now it's time to slice a bit off and take a bite into it. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh my. This is what it looks like. I'm actually going to have to do a close-up of this one for you. Look at this. Does that not look so scrumptious? So let's take a bite. I'm going to start down here and make sure I put some blueberry in this first bite here. First impressions, this is amazing. Second impressions, I probably could have used a little bit more lemon zest, but that's because I love citrus. But as is, this is absolutely amazing. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this with my homemade blueberry sweet tea. And let's see, another serving suggestion for this might be with just a scoop of ice cream, because ice cream makes all the better, right? So let's scoop this ice cream alongside of this, and yeah, that's all you need to do, is add maybe a bit of ice cream, but I'm not going to do that right now. I am going to enjoy this blueberry lemon bread, as I said, with my homemade blueberry sweet tea. And because it is 5 o'clock, I did not have lunch today because I was so busy. Sometimes I get so busy I forget to eat lunch. That's the case today. We're going to call this lunch. But it is 5:01 now. I have not started to make dinner. So that's a problem for later this evening. I might buy dinner, I might make something, but that's not a right now problem. That's a later problem. So right now, I'm going to dig in for another bite. 2 thumbs up. I will leave the link for the recipe for this blueberry lemon bread in the description box. I will just list the basic ingredients that I use to make this blueberry sweet tea. You can make your sweet tea any way that you would like to make it. I decided to not puree the blueberries, but you can actually do this with all different flavors of tea. You can use unflavored tea, but you can also use different kinds of fruit. So I think the next time I make this, I will use strawberries or raspberries. Thank you so much for watching.